I'm gonna give you a very small introduction into how to edit using this kind of a retro neon noir, but it's like kind of like steampunk type of edit. It's very old school styled and very kind of a cinematic, but still very kind of a animated, like old poster styled edit. So, anyways, let me show you around. So I shot this on a Sony A7R III camera and on a 35mm lens using a f3.5 settings on 160 shutter speed and ISO 320. So I try to keep my settings extremely low whenever I'm shooting for night photography. So that I can capture the most dynamic ranges I can, and then I can always bring the shadows up and make it work. So let me show you around. So okay, so for the first thing, you wanna just like slightly work on the curves and bring this curve here just a little bit, and maybe make another point right over here, and you can already start to see how you can bring these lights up. And we'll raise another curve right somewhere around here, just a little bit. And then this one is the one that kind of brings the grays out. So there you go. That's something that I think it looks pretty good, but then definitely you want to like give a little more light in there. So maybe something like that, maybe something like that. There you go. So just as with any image, you want to like always make sure that it kind of fits like whatever story you want to tell. So for me, this is okay for now. Hold on, let me bring this down just a little bit more. There you go. And this one I'm going to bring it all the way to the corner, and then that should be good for now. So now clarity. I'm going to bring the clarity just a little bit, maybe like somewhere like 16, and the shadows, so maybe something like, let's see, something like maybe something like that, like really kind of high actually. Let's see, there you go, something like that. Now for the highlights, you want to bring your highlights down, so maybe somewhere in between this. That should be, you're already starting to see, you get this kind of a cartoon type of look to it. Now for the contrast, you want to like raise your contrast just a little bit more, just a tiny bit, like maybe somewhere here, 18. And your exposure just like tiny bit, like maybe like that, maybe like, there you go. Maybe that's a little bit too much, but then like, you can always bring it down just a little bit. It's just a kind of a tiny like punch to it. Now you wanna like, now you can already have like kind of a base image from here. So then you wanna maybe start working on your colors. So I'll say just a tiny bit of tints, and your temperature just maybe like somewhere wait, just like, you don't want to overly like saturate it, but then let's see, maybe something like that already for me looks good. So it's already kind of flat, and okay, so I think this image is a little bit too yellow, so I'm gonna bring the temperature just maybe just like something like that. Let's see. There you go. Something just like that, so that it's, you can tell more of the other colors are in the picture. There you go. That should be good. Same way as in your tint. I'm gonna bring it just like maybe somewhere like that. That should be good enough, so you can get one of those kind of the green cinematic look. So that should be good. Okay, now I'm gonna adjust a little bit of the contrast, so maybe just like that, like just a little pinch of it, of a contrast. Now the key for this is the whites. So you want to push the whites. Let's see. So somewhere here where you can start to see, you start to kind of make sense of the image, right? So by pushing the white. So look at the difference between that and just, for example, somewhere below 50. It's like a good range. There you go. So now you can start to see this kind of anime type image. So now, so pretty much now you already have kind of a base image, and you already kind of got the feeling of that you're trying to do. And what I would recommend is to raise the blacks just a little bit more. Maybe somewhere like that. And maybe adjust your contrast a little bit more so you get those kind of shadows instead of these grays. And that should be pretty good enough. Now, what's next? For next, let's see, I'll just do a little bit of noise reduction, just because you're shooting at night and you definitely don't want those. You don't want your image too noisy, but also you don't want it to make it look too that you don't want that noise reduction to kind of mess up with your image, like sharpness. So enable chromatic aberration, enable profile correction. Then right around here, I kind of start playing a little bit with the colors just to kind of see what works for your image, for instance, whatever it is that you're trying to go for. So, and right now I actually feel it's a bit too there's too much vibrance and saturation, so I'm going to bring my saturation just a little bit like that. It should be good. So there you go. My image already starts to kind of make sense. Okay, so next you want to bring one of these local adjustments and do maybe something like this. And so pretty much you want to center your attention, like you have to always think about in your composition where it is that you want the eyes to go, where is it like you want people's attention to go. So you want people's attention to go here, right, where there's like where the signs are and the end of the alleyway. So so anyway, so you go here, you invert this, and then you're gonna start to bring the just bring a little bit, like just a little pinch of the exposure, and your highlights just a little, actually opposite, sorry, you're gonna bring your highlights a little bit down, and you're gonna bring your shadows and a little bit of the whites, just tiny. There you go. And so anyways, that way you can already start to kind of make sense of your image. And so there you go. So that one is already done. Then you're gonna make another one. So this is kind of how I do things. So then you make another one. This one is slightly bigger, and then you're going to, let me show you. I'm gonna bring this a little bit, like the darkness on the sides here, and then just so you can bring the attention back to this point. So maybe that's a little bit too much, but then I'm gonna bring it just a tiny bit, like maybe like that. And there you go. And bring your shadows like a little bit high, but then bring your highlights down. There you go. So that's pretty good for me. Let's see. There's something I still think I need to adjust here on one of the first radial brushes. So then, sorry, wait. I'm gonna bring the colors a bit like blue. And so here, let me show you. So you see these changes. These changes are only happening within this in the center circle. So there you go. That should be good. Okay, so pretty much that's how this image was done. If you have any questions, let me know, and I hope this tutorial helped you to kind of get the look that you're going for with this kind of Noir type edits. All right, so stay tuned and keep watching for more.